COVID-19 has had a massive impact, not just on everyone's lives, but on our business as well, on all of our sites and projects. Going back to the early days in March, the uncertainty, that's, the lads on site before everyone sort of went into lockdown and things like that, you could say there was like a tension on site. It wasn't very nice. And obviously everyone had the time off work, the whole country went into lockdown. And then when we did come back to work, it was very, very strange atmosphere, again, uncertainty, but also like suppliers and getting materials and everything. It has been unbelievably difficult. The main thing for us was we did come back sooner than a lot of other contractors, but we had to make sure that we had in place obviously to make sure it was safe to come back. So, for instance, we put lots of additional welfare on. We try to have the lads working by themselves as much as possible. We've got additional vehicles and things just to try and keep the projects moving.
For our major projects where we're on site, it was obviously quite an unusual position where we had to have tools down completely and there was a pause in our programme. We worked really closely with our design team and with our contractors HPR and the CCT, as well as our major funders, who have all been really understandable in this situation, that it's unprecedented and unknown in terms of how we're going to cope. But I think in terms of how we have got back on site, we've worked really closely with HPR. We've been able to gradually bring the workforce back on site, take into account all the safety precautions needed. The main change was that we couldn't obviously go anywhere. We couldn't go to sites, so all of our meetings had to become virtual. So we all had to get used to the awkwardness of having our first Zoom meeting all together and interrupting each other and not really knowing how we can politely have robust conversations, but we got there in the end, and now it's something that is second nature to us. And in fact, it's probably enhanced our communication because we realise we don't necessarily need to be all together in one room to have those regular conversations.
It has been strange, like having to work in different ways, but you just got to live with it, just social distance, and one way is different exits. You just got to do the best you can.
The company closed down for 3 weeks, so the opportunity for the management team to look at the different projects that we as a company are running and establish how we could work safely. After 3 weeks we came back. That was me and the head stonemason the first week, and we took about 9-10 weeks before we ramped up to anywhere near the workforce that we had before. We've put one-way systems in, we've got hand wash in various different places, we do a lot of more toolbox talks. We've got external hand washing facilities, we've had to put additional cabins on and toilet facilities. But because this is it's a big project, but it's not manpower heavy. It hasn't been too bad on our side.
I was itching to get on site today. I've missed being in this building and actually enhancing the understanding and remembering why I'm doing this project. To tangibly be here has been a real privilege, and I think in this day and age, especially when we can't come to site and move about so much, I'm not going to take that for granted.